Deep in the heart of the Guatemalan jungle, massive stone pyramids break through the emerald canopy, reaching for the sky. This is Tikal, once a bustling metropolis in the beating heart of the ancient Maya civilization. For over 1,000 years, this city thrived, a testament to human ingenuity and power. Today, we're journeying back in time to uncover the epic story of Tikal's rise and fall. Our story begins around 900 BC, in what we call the Middle Pre-Classic period. Tikal started as a humble village, a small settlement in the vast Patan Basin. But its location was strategic, situated on higher ground with access to fertile land and important trade routes. The early inhabitants laid the foundation for what would become a sprawling city. They started building small ceremonial platforms, the very first seeds of the monumental architecture that would later define Tikal. It was a slow burn, but these early centuries were crucial, setting the stage for the explosion of growth and culture that was to come. As we move into the late pre-classic period, around 300 BC, Tikal began to transform. The population swelled, and the early platforms were built over, becoming larger and more complex. This is when we see the first hints of royal power. Archaeologists have uncovered the tomb of a ruler from this era, a figure nicknamed Yax Ibzuk. He is considered the founder of Tikal's powerful royal dynasty. His burial marks a pivotal moment, signaling the shift from a large village to a structured kingdom with a divine king at its center. This dynasty would rule Tikal for centuries, their stories recorded in stone monuments called stelae. The golden age of Tikal, however, was the classic period, from roughly 250 to 900 AD. This is when the city truly became a superpower. Imagine a city of up to 90,000 people, a vibrant urban center filled with artisans, priests, astronomers, and warriors. The skyline was dominated by towering limestone temples, some soaring over 200 feet high. These weren't just buildings. They were man-made mountains, sacred spaces connecting the earthly realm with the heavens. The Great Plaza was the city's heart, flanked by the iconic Temple of the Great Jaguar and the Temple of the Masks. Here, elaborate rituals were performed, games were played, and the power of the king was put on full display. One of Tikal's most famous rulers from this era was Jasa Chankayawil I. He came to the throne in 682, a time when Tikal was struggling under the shadow of its great rival. For over a century, the Snake Kingdom of Calakmul had dominated the Maya world, even defeating Tikal in a major war. But Jasa Chankayawil was determined to restore his city's glory. In 695 AD, he led his forces in a decisive battle against Calakmul. He captured the rival king, Yichakeg, and perhaps even the city's sacred effigy. This victory was a turning point. It shattered Calakmul's dominance and ushered in a new era of prosperity for Tikal. To celebrate, Jasa Chankayawil commissioned some of Tikal's most magnificent structures, including his own burial pyramid. The majestic Temple of the Great Jaguar, or Temple I Life in classic Tikal, was a complex tapestry. The elite lived in sprawling stone palaces in the city center, while the common people resided in simpler thatched roof homes in the surrounding areas. The city was a hub of knowledge. Maya scribes recorded history and astronomy in intricate hieroglyphs, and their astronomers developed a calendar system more accurate than any in Europe at the time. They charted the movements of the stars and planets, embedding this cosmic knowledge into the very alignment of their buildings. Trade was the lifeblood of the city. Jade from the Motagua Valley, obsidian from the highlands, and exotic goods from across Mesoamerica flowed through Tikal's markets. But like all great empires, Tikal's golden age couldn't last forever. As we enter the 9th century AD, something begins to go wrong across the entire southern Maya lowlands. This period is known as the Terminal Classic Collapse. The last dated monument at Tikal was erected in 869 AD. After that, the historical record goes silent. No more grand temples were built. No more stelae were carved with the deeds of Kings Wat Apenet. The collapse wasn't a single event, but a perfect storm of problems. Decades of intense warfare between city-states had exhausted resources and destabilized the region. Prolonged and severe droughts, evidenced by climate data from Lake, placed immense strain on an agricultural system that supported a large population. Overfarming and deforestation likely made the environmental crisis even worse. Social and political unrest would have followed. The divine kings, who were supposed to guarantee prosperity and appease the gods, lost their authority when the rains failed and the harvests withered. People began to abandon the great cities. Tikal didn't vanish overnight. Evidence suggests a gradual decline. The population dwindled, and the grand stone palaces and temples were left to the jungle. Squatters may have moved into the abandoned ceremonial centers for a time, but by the end of the 10th century, Tikal was largely deserted. For nearly 1,000 years, the city slept, slowly being swallowed by the relentless growth of the rainforest. The roars of jaguar priests were replaced by the roars of actual jaguars. The intricate carvings were covered in moss and vines. Tikal became a lost city, its memory kept alive only in the legends of the local people who knew of the place of voices. The modern story of Tikal begins in the mid-19th century. In 1848, a Guatemalan government expedition, led by Modesto Mendez and Ambrosio Tut, officially rediscovered the ruins. Their reports sparked international interest, and over the next century, explorers and archaeologists began the painstaking work of mapping, clearing, and excavating the site. It was a monumental task. The University of Pennsylvania Museum led a major project from 1956 to 1970, which uncovered much of what we see today, including the spectacular tomb of Jasa Chan Kayawil inside Tempelai. Today, Tikal is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a national park, a breathtaking blend of natural wonder and human history. Walking through the Great Plaza, you can almost hear the echoes of the past. It serves as a powerful reminder of the incredible achievements of the Maya civilization, but also of the fragility of even the mightiest societies. The story of Tikal teaches us about power, belief, art, and science, and it holds important lessons about the delicate balance between human ambition and the natural world. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through the history of Tikal. You enjoyed this exploration of the ancient world. Please hit that like button, subscribe for more adventures, and let me know in the comments which ancient city you'd like to visit next. See you in the next video.